Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Dakota, the place where we unpack financial mysteries with a smirk. Today we're diving into TransSuite Archaic Inc. and let's just say that August 29th filing is a bit like a magic trick, potentially making things appear out of thin air. Alright, so TransSuite Edge Inc. or TRSO as they like to call themselves has filed a current report, an 8K. This means something pretty significant happened that shareholders need to know about right away, and frankly this one has some interesting moves. The date of this report is August 29, 2025. First off, they're highlighting that they're an emerging growth company. This usually means they're a younger company and have some advantages with following the complex financial rules that older, bigger companies have to. They're also choosing not to use a special extended deadline for following new accounting rules. Now let's get to the juicy part, the actual deal they made. On August 25, 2000 entered into an agreement to exchange shares. What does that mean in plain English? They're basically trading their company stock for ownership in another company or part of another company. The other players in this deal are Crestar Holdings Limited, a Hong Kong company, and Heliang, shareholder of Solon AI Global Limited, a company focused on AI technology. So TRSO is in a deal to acquire AI tech from a company called Solon AI. This makes sense because AI is a hot area. They're doing this indirectly though. Think of it like this. TRSO owns most of Goldfinch Group Holdings Limited and Goldfinch owns Crestar. Crestar is then buying 51% of Solon AI, so TRSO through this chain of companies ends up with a controlling stake in Solon AI. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. To make this acquisition happen, TRSO issued a whopping 10 million of their own shares. And these aren't just regular shares, they're restricted shares, meaning they can't be immediately sold. The reported value of these shares is $12.5 million US dollars. They've set a price of 125 TEFs per share for this deal. But wait, there's more. They've also got an option to issue another 5 million shares. This will happen if Solon AI's value comes in higher than expected after an independent appraisal, which they'll do within 120 days. The formula they're using to figure out how many extra shares to give is pretty straightforward. They take Solon AI's valuation, multiply it by 51%, subtract the $12.5 million they've already accounted for, and divide that by the 125 by the 1%. Subtract the $12.5 million they've already accounted for, and divide that by the $125 per share price. So it's a performance-based bonus, if you will, but paid in company stock. Any of these extra shares will need board approval and more paperwork with the SEC. This section basically backs up what we just discussed under item 1.01. It officially confirms that on August 25, 2000 handed over those 10 million restricted shares to the seller. It reiterates that these shares are valued at $12.25 million based on their 1.25 per share common share closing price on that specific day. And again, they're mentioning the possibility of those extra 5 million shares depending on how Solon AI is valued. This is a common way for companies to bridge valuation gaps and ensure both sides feel the deal is fair as more information becomes available. It also means that the total number of shares outstanding could increase significantly if Solon AI performs well. Finally, this part lists the official documents that back up all of this information. Most importantly, it points to the share exchange agreement itself filed as an exhibit. This is the actual contract detailing the entire transaction. So let's wrap this up and give our take. TransSuite Edge Inc. is making a big move into AI by acquiring a controlling stake in Solon AI Global Limited. The way they're financing this is through a significant issuance of company stock. They've issued 10 million restricted shares and could issue another 5 million. This means a substantial dilution of existing ownership is on the horizon if you're currently a shareholder. On one hand, this shows ambition. TRSO is clearly trying to grow and get into a high growth sector like AI. This could be a smart long-term play if Solon AI turns out to be a gem. On the other hand, issuing so much stock can be risky. If Solon AI doesn't pan out or if the valuation at the end of the day is lower than they anticipate, TRSO might have just given away a lot of ownership for not much in return. The initial agreed upon price of 125 and 25 cents per share for their stock seems a bit high compared to historical stock movements though. Without seeing their trading history, it's hard to say. The fact that they're issuing restricted shares is a bit of a yellow flag too. It suggests they might be using this as a way to pay for something without immediately impacting their cash reserves. But it also means new shareholders have limitations. The potential dilution is the biggest story here. It will reduce the percentage of ownership for existing shareholders. The company's direction is clearly towards AI technology, and they're taking a bold step to get there through acquisition rather than organic development. A key risk here is overpaying for Solon AI or Solon AI, failing to live up to its potential, leading to a significant drop in TRSO stock price. Due to the increased number of shares, an opportunity exists if Solon AI becomes a leader in AI and TRSO's investment pays off handsomely. In conclusion, TRSO is making a risky but potentially rewarding bet on AI. Existing shareholders should definitely watch Solon AI's valuation closely and understand the impact of this share issuance on their own ownership stake. It's a classic growth strategy, but one that carries significant risk of dilution and potential value destruction if not executed perfectly. Alright, that's our breakdown of TransSuite. Urge Inc.'s latest filing. What's your take on this AI acquisition and the massive share issuance? Do you think it's a smart move or a financial gamble? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more real-time insights and discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.